Hello, welcome to my final video for CST 341. This is exercise 4. In this exercise, we are given 7 Java issues that we needed to look at and explain. Starting with Stack Overflow here, you can see if I run the code. What we had was a issue of inheritance. Initially, we were calling for the catch exception, and exception does not have a stack overflow. Does not catch stack overflows. To solve this issue, we have to move up using inheritance and go with the throwable, which also covers error, which covers the stack overflow. All right, over here, this is a string builder, and I was asked, what is a code print? If we go ahead and run it, you can see 00. Why would a programmer use new string builder 100 instead of string builder? Well, it's uses a buffer, so the internal memory will stay at 100. String builder is used for speed. We do this because we have the ability for mutability, and strings don't. So we lose a lot of efficiency if we're continuously creating copies of strings and altering those. With string builder, we can actually just alter the object instead, so it's much more efficient. Okay, next one is the endless loop. This one here, we can never reach the primitive variable here inside of the main. So every time this increments, we're not actually reaching this up here. It is just a copy. So we're continuously resetting and never getting to int x up here actually. So it's not holding its value. We're losing the value. Therefore, we're never going to get above 5, and that's our endless loop. That's 4. Explain items. Okay, so if we go ahead and run this, you can see the first printout is 1020, and the second is 020. The reason being is that we have these values here, which is 10 and 20. But if we also look over in point, you can see here declaring those, and right here is where we get the issue, or the talking point, I guess. So it's a value of 0 because we don't have a this dot in front of it. So instead we're calling x first and then assigning it the value of this dot x instead of assigning it this dot x equals x. So just like y, that's why y has its 20 and x doesn't. Okay, 2D array. This is a pretty easy one. So these two are acceptable. The first array is empty. This is how the code came. So you can see I immediately get an error just because we can't start with a empty array. There has to be a value in there for the first index, and with the 2D array, it's an array inside of an array, so we can't have that first index empty. We'll get an error. So, okay, moving on, we have what is removed. So as you can see here, these are wrappers. Wrapper creates an object, and if you notice, we are looking at the value of 0 instead of the actual index of 0. And so if I run this here, you can see we are going to remove the index of 0, so that leaves us 2, 1, and then the value of I is obviously going to be 2. Okay. All right, and final one here is the another string builder. It's the string builder and equals. So explain each line of this code. That's what the notes are for. So we have a primitive here, string, Java, string builder SB, Java, and string builder SB2, Java. Okay, and we have 3 printouts as well. So we're asking if primitive string equals SB plus SB is equal to string. Obviously, both of these are going to be the same. False, false. I'm going to run this. But all right, next we're asking because this is a deep copy. And looking at a shallow copy here too. Sorry, string builder shallow. It's not. We have a mutable object and an immutable object, and they're completely different. So string builder equals string builder 2, and that is false. Why is that false? Well, they have separate memory locations. So even though they have the same value passed into them, they're 2 separate locations. So we're not they're not. It's not true. They're not the same. So, all right, and finally, primitive string equals SB toString plus SB equals string. So this is going to be true false because we are using the toString to examine that primitive. So I'm sorry, we are looking at the value at that point instead of the memory location. It's not a deep comparison. So I believe that concludes this video. I tried to keep it under 5 minutes. I just want to say thank you for everything. The class has been great, and I've learned a lot. Bye.